What a wonderful Wednesday, Sooner Nation. Welcome back to the Sooner Surge for another nightly edition of Double Trouble. What's going on, Jay?
Not much, man. Hump day, halfway through the week. Long week. Getting past the middle of the week, though. It's always a good thing, get past Wednesday. So it's weird. No basketball this week, so that's kind of odd. I think it's thrown me off a little bit. No basketball till Saturday. No softball till Friday night. Sooner fan. By the way, did you see him come out tonight? That was not true. He got scammed a little bit.
Yes.
So I think he's doing just fine. Okie Long Guy, this is live from the palace on the
Jay, yeah. Porter Moser's had a week off. They're going to lose to Stillwater. They're going to lose in Stillwater, even with the league.
OSU won tonight at Cincinnati.
Yeah, OSU's a team that peaks.
Peaks.
Yeah, Porter Moser won.
What do you mean peaks?
They're playing better. They've actually improved during the year.
Hey, this is what we're going to talk about tonight is
not 16, 14.
14. And guys, it's not a good thing if it happens, okay? And there
not a good thing in what way?
There was talk, I guess, and if this happens, it would be 2026. Well, with this new format, I believe this 14 team would be only 4 max from the AC or from the SEC and Big Ten.
Yeah, I mean, there's two ways of looking at it, Jay. One way is, well, they're going to at least get 4 teams in every year. They're not going to get 3
always get 4 in.
Oh, there's some people who may think they're going to get 3 in some.
No,
hey, 405 boy. 405 boy, you better get used to it. They're probably losing to Oklahoma State, bud. What have you seen from OU's basketball program that makes you think they're going to actually go on the road and beat OSU? That's my question.
Yeah, and by the way, Okie Lawn Guy, this is true. And Adrian Peterson from his videos seemed pretty upset that the media didn't contact him. They all had his number. They didn't contact it to confirm the validity of it, and they put it all out. So that's disappointing. I mean, if that's true, and a lot of these media markets just put it out with confirming with him, I think that's very disappointing for the media, personally. But it sounded like he did not give the approval for all that to be sold. In fact, he said if he went on to sell it, he has plenty of people that he could sell it to, not online. So, correct, Sooner fan. OU loses to OSU, they're not making it unless they got hot at the end of the year and beat 3 teams that you don't think they're going to beat.
They're not going to make it if they lose to OSU. It's maybe the most embarrassing Sooner basketball program that I can remember.
If they don't make the tournament, it will be.
Yes. Everyone was saying Sweet 16 with this team. They were number 8 in America.
You were too.
I'm part of everyone, Jay.
I guess you shouldn't have been so high on him.
Yeah, Hunter can talk a lot about the Oklahoma baseball team. It's going to be
disappointing loss last night to Dallas Baptist.
Dallas Baptist is really good, but look, OU baseball's I think in a good trend moving upward.
And let me say this: I know Hunter would come at me for this, but if they don't have a good year this year with the talent they got, I'm getting concerned because they got really good talent pitching. Really good.
They are really talented this year.
They got to make a decent run to the postseason.
How do you
I'm not saying you have to make it all the way to Omaha, but you got to make a good
run. First off,
hush up. Wait a second. Hush up. So what you're saying is Dallas Baptist is a better team than Oklahoma? I know it's okay. Maybe the word disappointing isn't it. I'm not concerned that they lost that game. I'm not concerned.
Dallas Baptist is better than OU.
They've struggled with Dallas Baptist. I'm not saying I'm concerned about it. So, whatever. I mean, Dallas Baptist owns OU. Period. They've kind of had that series lately. So, I mean, I think most people are probably expecting them to lose. I guess.
You hear a baby in the background. It's my son, my youngest son. Anything. Yeah. Got hurt. First off, Okie Lawn Guy. Dallas Baptist, I agree, is a really good baseball team, but I'm going to agree with Jay in the sense that if OU isn't vastly improved from last year, there's some issues.
Yeah, but we don't even need to talk about it right now. It's so early in the season.
I mean, what's more likely? I think they're both going to happen. I think they're both going to happen. I think OU's basketball team misses in the tournament, and I think that OU football makes the playoff this year. And
that could both happen very well.
How did Dallas Baptist get so good? I don't follow Dallas Baptist enough. Baseball, I think there's certain universities, certain programs that have a niche sport where they really recruit well. And I think Dallas Baptist is a perfect example of this. Okay. That that they attract baseball players. People want to go to Dallas Baptist for baseball, just like people want to go to other universities that aren't known for a lot of sports, but certain sports, and they go there for that sport. That's what it is.
And OU 2-1 out of the opening weekend was a win. That's a very successful opening weekend. Okay. So they lost to Dallas Baptist 2-2 now. Go have a good weekend this week. I mean, I think if you ask any OU baseball fan what the schedule they had opening weekend, okay, if you just said they were going to go 2-1, you would have taken it in a heartbeat with Tennessee.
Taking it or taking it?
Taking it. That's what I said.
Thank you.
I said taking it. Man, whatever, dude. So I think it was a good start to the season. Now you kind of got your first 4 games under your belt, kind of see what your pitching is going to be. I'm not concerned about OU baseball. I will be if they don't have a good year, though. I'll say that.
The answer is football.
Championship next, football.
Football is going to win the Natty next. Well, softball, if you put that one on there for sure. But
that one's not being put on there.
Definitely not basketball anytime soon.
In fact, let me say something that I don't know if this will tick people off or not, but I don't know if OU basketball will ever win a national championship.
Well, it's not going to tick me off. You know, Jay,
Jeremy, can OU basketball, we talked about this tonight, can they ever support a basketball team?
Yes. I'm not going to sit here and argue this. Yes, they can support one.
They never will. Never will happen.
They've supported one for how many years?
Never will happen.
You don't think the university has supported basketball?
I'm not talking about university. I'm talking about fan support. You'll never have a crazy, rowdy crowd at an OU.
Now you're changing it. They've supported under Porter Moser. They supported under Kelvin Sampson.
Certain games, not year round.
Put a good product out there, Jay.
What if OU football doesn't put a good product out there? Will people show up? Yes. Doesn't matter.
OU almost always puts a good product on the field.
Jeremy, it doesn't matter if OU football wins or not. There'll be people there, I promise you. Not basketball.
Okay, well.
In fact, I'll say this. The first game this year that they had a great crowd and they lost, all the fans go on Twitter, anybody you talk to said, well, we showed up and they didn't do anything. I'm not showing up again. One game.
So put a good product out there.
One game, though, dude. Come on. That's
Jay, I went to 2 games this year at LNC, and both of them had good crowds. So stop it.
Good. There'll never be a, quote, basketball.
No, you said support it, dude.
Well, support is a little different, okay? Whatever.
Jeez.
Iowa State, they won. Pretty good crowd.
It was a good crowd. Jay, I'm sorry. What Moser has out there is not that exciting right now. If I have to watch more,
right now, it's not good.
I have to watch more high ball screens up at the top of Sam Godwin, I don't know what I'll do.
Yeah, but Gary, OU Arkansas was basically more Arkansas probably. So
70-30%.
Yeah. Hey, let's switch gears and talk about this 14-team
playoff. Let's talk playoff.
14-team playoff that they're throwing out there already. Like already? Why are they already talking about that? First off, I think it's silly if they're going to put a limit on how many teams from a conference can get in. I think that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. As you would say, that's absolutely ridiculous saying. That is dumb.
Jay? You're right, it is. And I love Skeeter Henry, Mars Jam, too. And I love Eddie Nahara and all the guys that were mentioned. Birdman, Erdman. Hey, Jay, Harvey Grant, number 25. Absolutely love that guy. Listen, it's asinine. Here's why. You take all these years to get from 2 to 4, and then you take all these years to go from 4 to 12, and now I think there are some complaints. That's what I think.
And Mess, 100% agree with you. You cannot.
There are complaints, Jay.
What?
I think there are complaints.
Complaints from who?
I think there are complaints from people in other conferences outside the SEC and Big Ten.
Well, you can't put a cap on. If you're going to go to 14 teams, take the top 14. Screw the conferences. I don't care who wins the conference. Just take the top 14 teams.
And I wouldn't be surprised if the Fighting Irish had someone in someone's ear about all this.
Well, to me, if they go 14 teams and limit the SEC and Big Ten to 4 only, that's a loss. That's a loss for college football, because you cannot tell me some years with the schedules of some of these SEC teams that a team sitting in 5th place isn't going to be better than the 14th ranked team. Come on.
Jay, I agree with you, and I agree with Peyton. You can't go past 12. This isn't March Madness. Look, they went from 68 to 70 in March 72 in March Madness. It's ridiculous.
Wait,
March Madness is its own.
I disagree a little bit, Jerry. And Sooner fan says 14 teams will water down. I don't think you're going to water down. I don't think you're going to water it down by adding 2 more teams. Now, if you cap how many teams from each conference, that's stupid. Hey, Okie Long Guy, he says, is there a stream that discusses OU baseball? Are you wanting to talk more OU baseball? Is that what you're wanting to do? Because
we're going to try to have a one night a week where we discuss OU baseball. We don't know which night that'll be, but I don't follow anyone else. I don't have time to really follow anyone else.
Pretty knowledgeable about it.
Baseball may win a national championship first. I don't know. Look, you can't cap conferences. You, in my opinion, like someone says, is someone mentioned? I believe I'd have to go back through the comments and see who it was that mentioned it. Not the watering down, but about non-con schedules. I mean, if you start capping conferences, no one's going to play anyone non-con.
Well, to me, you already should take one of those games out. Right? Well, I mean, if you win the national championship and you don't get a bye, you're having to play 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So take one of those non-con games out of there. Just take one out completely. That's losing money, though. So I don't know.
OU men's basketball biggest issue is being inconsistent. 1 good year, then 3 mid-years. Yeah, I mean, we can blame all we want. All we want about talent, but that starts with the coaching staff. You know my thoughts on it.
Hey, and Okie, they did get, I mean, Ole Miss, and then Ole Miss wasn't that great last year, wasn't it? I mean, so I don't know. I look for OU to make a run this year. I really do in baseball.
Hunter is your guy with baseball, and he'll be on here to talk baseball.
Yeah, he's under the weather.
At least once a week.
He's under the weather tonight. So, no capping conference. I agree. I don't care about matchups and who they play and if they're playing each other for a second time. I don't care if they're the best teams. Why not? I mean,
I'm also going to say that I don't even like the group of 5 team in it.
Hey, here's what
What do you think of the group of 5 team getting a playoff berth? What do you think of that? This isn't basketball where
here's what
12 seed and a 5 seed, a 16 and a 1.
What I would have liked to have seen them do is go the top 4 highest rated conference champions. So maybe a group of 5 gets in there if the Big 12 sucks or something, right? You take the top 4 highest rated champions, and then you take 8 automatic or 8 at large based on rankings, period.
Do you know what this would be equivalent to, though, Jay? It would be equivalent to March Madness putting the top 11 teams, like your top 3 seeds in each region, right? And then sticking a 16 seed in there. Like, that's ridiculous.
And I think this is the way you would fix that, Purple, is if you made their own playoff.
Absolutely. Give them an
not going to
national
happen.
championship.
It's not going to happen. And I'm with this right here. Listen, I would be totally fine, personally. They will never do this because of money. I would be totally fine. Every team plays 12-game season. No conference championships. After 12 games, rank the top 12 teams. Take them, period.
Hey, the FSC championship, first off, all the other championships are better, and I'll tell you why. A Division II football doesn't let, it was FCS. Division II football doesn't let an NAI school in their playoff. Like, I don't understand the G5. I don't understand the group of five. I'm sorry.
Dalpo says, as a college fan, fans should have a say. Everybody has a say except for the people paying the bills. Well, the fans are paying the players at this point.
Jay, you know what they should do? How about this? What do you think about this, buddy? I want to get your viewpoint on this, bud. How about G5 have their own playoff and Notre Dame's in that one?
I'd be fine with that. If
okay,
they want,
good. Just I was questioning you after the last night.
I'd be fine with it.
Notre Dame should be in the group of five playoff. Absolutely.
Let's be realistic. Let me ask everybody on this live right now. Right now. Will we ever in our lifetime, any of us that's on here, will we ever see a non-group of five from the not power conference? Will we ever see them win a natty? The answer is no. The answer is no. The answer is absolutely not.
They might get it
zero. The answer is none. So
Jay,
why are they in it?
The bowl games when they upset some team is one thing.
It's different. It's different.
I just said it's one thing.
Hey,
when you're playing for titles and you win those games because of the trenches, you're not going to make upsets aren't going to happen like it does in basketball.
And Dalpos, this is right. You may win one. They aren't winning four in a row.
Zero chance.
I think it's pretty high, 99.9. I'd be shocked if it ever happened.
Agreed.
So I guess all we're doing is basically giving one team an easier. I don't know. I think it's kind of silly. I'd rather see them have their own playoff because for their schools too, guys. For schools like Tulsa, Tulane, some of these schools that they could win one game, but they're not going to win probably three in a row to win a natty. I would love for them to win a national championship out of their group of five. I think it'd be cool for those schools.
Jay, viewer says Tulane beat USC, so anything is possible. That wasn't in a playoff game.
No.
How motivated was USC? I don't know.
The reason they're up, Sooner fans, the reason
right. I can have two great scorers in basketball and three guys who play their roles, and I can upset someone on a day I get hot. Doesn't happen in football, guys.
Yeah. Stop.
You're right, Sooner fan. Absolutely right.
What are you saying stop about, CW Long?
Stop what?
Stop with what? I'm confused. Let me know what you say.
Come on, CW. Tell us what to stop on.
Yeah, tell me what to stop. I'd like to.
USC was terrible. Absolutely. But they weren't even motivated. Look, Tulane is not Notre Dame. Yeah. Who said they were?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure
Maybe
where he's going.
CW doesn't like that I said put Notre Dame in the group of five program.
And this is a great point.
Get in the conference.
Tyler, thanks for joining again tonight. This is a great point. It's going to be easier to get into the playoffs, but harder to win a national championship. That's right. I agree with that.
Yes. Stop in the name of love, Jay. Hey, listen, I said that, CW, because I don't think Notre Dame should be in it without being in a conference. I mean, they're never going to play in a conference championship game where all the marbles matter. Okay? They're never going to do that.
Hey, pump the brakes, gents. Who said
Okie Lawn guy? First off, you said hush up earlier. Now you're saying pump the brakes. Who's guaranteed OU in the playoffs?
I think he's maybe. I think Okie Long's talking about the comments, but I think people are just bringing it up. I mean, I do think they're on the cusp of making the playoff next year. It's disappointing, but
I think he's telling me and you to pump the brakes.
Fritz is at Houston now. I'll pump the brakes on. I don't understand. Hey, I got trivia for the night.
Here,
we get trivia. Look at the fan stop there. You see the logo. You see it rolling across the bottom. Go to fanstop.com. Use code SURGE. You'll get 10% off your first 3 months of shirts. Basically, you get a shirt of the month. One shirt every month. If you want to be OU, to be OU. If you're from another team, there's over 50 teams that they're officially licensed for. Please go to fanstop.com. Use code SURGE for 10% off. Here is the trivia for the night. Curtis Lofton was named, quote, the new GM there at Oklahoma. This is going to be a pretty easy question. I just want to know what number he wore in the NFL.
Oh, I thought you meant at OU.
Not at OU, NFL. Do you know OU?
OU was 40.
What did he wear in the NFL?
OU was 40.
It's not 40.
Okie Lawn Guy, why not buy one, get one? Hey, be happy with 10%.
There it is. Gary Walford, 50. Bingo. Good job, Gary. You get the point for the night. Appreciate you.
I got to go back to Okie Lawn Guy.
With what?
The comment about pump the brakes, gents. First off, if you're a Sooner fan and you don't think with what they got coming back next year and the talent they have that they shouldn't be a top 12 team in America,
here's what
I'm questioning.
I'm confused.
I'm questioning.
Right after that, Okie Long Guy says it will be very disappointing. What? Not making the playoff?
I'm guessing he means not making the playoff.
But pump the brakes, but also to be disappointing. I'm confused.
Can we see trivia standings?
Hunter will have to update that. Hunter, I don't know. Yeah, Bobby won last night. Hunter will probably have to update that for us.
Hunter's been feeling sick.
Hey,
not feeling sick. Hunter has
Okie
been
Long
sick.
Guy. Okie
Hunter
Long
has
Guy.
been sick.
Okie Long Guy, do you think OU makes the football playoff next year? Yes or no?
And yeah, answer that one, Okie Lawn Guy. I want to hear what your answer is on if you think OU will be in the playoffs in 2024.
He likes getting you fired up, Jeremy.
It's not hard to get you fired up.
Bit. Fire him up,
hard.
Okie Lawn Guy. Fire him up. I want to see him ran off here in a minute.
You guys know what it takes to get me
He
fired
says
up.
yes. He says yes.
Yeah. Lady Chieftains are probably the favorite to win state again, Gary. They seem to do it every year. Staley Hurd from Sapulpa, who's down at OSU right now, playing as a true freshman elite. Her sister, Tyler Hurd, is on the Sapulpa team, leading them. They dominated the first game in the playoffs.
What's up, Bradley? Thanks for joining tonight. I guess, was it Ole Miss and Mississippi State or something? Oh, we got Dal Post and Bobby tied at 6. Kind of running.
Oh, wow. We only got, 5 days left in the month? 7 days?
I don't know how many days are in the month.
Short month, 29 days. Purple Orca. I'm not even responding. I'm gonna chill out. I'm gonna chill out. Now, I will say this: for everyone to rip my rear, okay? For everyone to rip me about the Jackson Arnold stuff, you're pretty ridiculous.
About what?
They're actually Tony Hurd's daughters. Yes, Tony Hurd's daughters. That is correct. From TU, and his wife Lila. Used to be Lila Osceola, played at TU. That's their mother. Yes, Tony and Lila.
Got some good genes there.
Oh, yeah. Listen. Yeah, Leap Year, Jay. Good movie. Good rom-com.
Ron says Alyssa Parker, he thinks Arkansas is going to flip her.
Really?
That would be interesting.
Germ, I'm chill. Well, I can get fired up. Listen, Jay. Everyone who thinks that
you don't have to get fired up just to get fired up. Don't put your head down, because every time I talk, you put your head down like I interrupt you.
Well,
every time.
People rip me about the Jackson Arnold stuff when honestly, if Dylan Gabriel could be ranked as the top quarterback in the SEC, then absolutely Jackson Arnold can, okay? And we don't control the commercials.
Wait, how can you compare the two, though? Dylan Gabriel has a lot of experience.
What Dylan Gabriel gains in experience, he loses with one throw. He has no arm strength.
Let me ask you something. What will you do next year if Dylan Gabriel's in the Heisman contention and at New York? Are you going to apologize to everybody?
Why would I? I didn't hurt anyone's feelings.
Yeah, but you've kind of bashed him. Are you going to apologize to DG?
First off, can we get – I don't like people putting words in my mouth. First off –
What did I put in your mouth?
First off, I said he had an elite year last year. I said
I'm talking about next year. You said there's
no
chance.
There's no chance he has as better year as Bo Nix.
You said there's no chance he's in New York.
Can I finish?
Yeah.
There's no chance he has a better year than Bo Nix or better year than he did at OU. So if he is in New York, it's because everyone else sucks.
Well, what if he has a better year and ends up in New York?
I think there's a higher chance Moore is the starting quarterback, dude.
Hey, Alyssa Parker, basketball, softball player, committed to OU already in softball. But I guess maybe Arkansas is coming hard at her. Jason, thanks for joining. Who do y'all think of Burks? What do y'all think of Burks coming in from Purdue? I heard Jackson Arnold say the other day on the ref that he's been throwing to him lately, trying to get used to him. I think Deion Burks is going to be a really good player.
I think he's wide receiver 1.
I'm not going to go there yet.
Well, I don't care if you go there. I just did, and I think it's not even that bad of a bold take. Okie Lawn guy, Jay would always resort to pulling my hair and things like that. We never really got in the fisticuffs fight. We tag teamed one neighborhood kid. That's really the only thing I remember. I don't see how you think it's far-fetched for Burks to be wide receiver 1, Jay.
I just don't think he will be. I didn't say
it. Why?
Who said far-fetched?
Why are you thinking he won't be?
I just think with the guys that are already there and kind of the loyalty factor there, I think they're gonna.
Okay, so you're telling me they're doing the loyalty next year?
I think a lot of people are forgetting about Andrew Anthony too. That's fair. Jeremy, you're forgetting about Andrew Anthony.
I didn't forget about Andrew Anthony.
Do you think Burks starts over Anderson, Anthony, and Gibson?
Yeah, Burks is playing the slot, bud. He's taking Farouk's job.
How do you know Farouk's not?
Ayo, Sianana.
What if Farouk starts? Are you going to be disappointing?
Okay. Am I going to be disappointed? Jason. Yes, I'm saying Deion Burks starts.
Double trouble versus the Stoops bros. That'd be fun.
We would get drilled on that.
I would get absolutely drilled.
Answer this question. Is Burks starting? In your opinion?
I don't think so.
Who's starting the slot?
I don't know yet, Jeremy. I'm not as you say, I'm not a fortune teller.
Guys, now the whole key is going to be if Jackson Arnold is going to spread it around or go to one guy. I think he's going to spread it around, but I think Deion Burks is going to be very, very special. When I say wide receiver 1, I don't mean that he's the first option every play. It's not what I mean. I think he's going to lead the team in yards. I think Nick Anderson still leads the team in touchdowns. How about that?
I like this. Anderson, Anthony, Burks. I like that. I just have a feeling it's going to be Anderson, Anthony, Farouk.
Oh, my.
What?
So you're going to sit here right now and say Farouk's going to be the starter?
No.
You just said it.
I'm not saying. I think that's what's probably going to happen. I wouldn't do that. I would do Burks.
Why are you thinking that's going to happen, Jay?
Maybe I just think that's going to happen.
What? You don't have a reasoning for your thinking?
Yeah, because he's a veteran guy.
I agree with Gary. He's going to be processed. I'm going to say my bold take. He ain't going to be on campus next year. Hey, you're correct. Use the tight ends. OU will be so lethal if you can use 1 or 2 tight ends. It changes the entire game.
That's probably a way this offense can be a lot better than last year, is using the tight ends. And I think if they do use the tight ends, they may not score as many points as last year overall for the year, but they'll be a better offense. And the clutch plays
I'm going to shock people right now. I have no problem, zero problem with Farouk coming off the bench and spurts and playing a few downs. Don't have a problem with that. He'd be a great backup.
I
Great
agree
13.
with Lori. I agree with
He'd
Lori.
be a great
Based
13.
on what I've seen in the first 2 years, I wouldn't be shocked to see Farouk starting.
Dion Burks did not come here to sit the bench.
Well, do you think did Gibson come here for 3 years to sit the bench?
No.
Okay.
But he's still here, isn't he?
Well, exactly.
He played more. Gibson played more last year.
I don't know. We could talk about this. Farouk is not my favorite receiver, Braden says.
And for one thing, Jay, Farouk wasn't in the slot, was he?
No.
First
he
off,
should be.
If we're gonna
He should be in the slot.
Stop. If we're gonna go off your opinion, Jay, what you're basing it on, if you're gonna base it what they've done in the past, and Farouk's outside, he ain't playing the slot. How about that?
Jeremy,
how about that?
I think the slot is going to be between Burks and Farouk and Petaway.
So they are going to move his position, but they're going to stick to everything else they've done.
I think they will move Farouk. I think it'll be between him, Burks, and Petaway for that spot. That's what I would say. Do you disagree?
I think if there's anything, they're going to leave him out wide if you're going to go based off your opinion. But
I mean, if Farouk wanted to have a great year next year, I mean, an outstanding year, he would probably go ahead and transfer to Oregon and get in the slot for Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel threw it to him 90 times like he did Drake Stoops.
For sure. And Gibson showed flashes. Haven't seen him play a whole game. That's not his fault. I think he definitely can play a whole game. And here's what I'll say about Burks. I don't know his exact 40 time. He's plenty fast enough.
Oh, yeah. Super fast dude.
He's faster than Farouk.
Well, Okie Long Guy, this is what we're talking about. Who fills the hole? And I'll say one thing. I'll say a couple things. First off, if the slot guy is Burks, it'll be him filling that hole. But if you're asking as far as who's going to catch 85 balls like he did, I don't know any one receiver will for Oklahoma. I think Jackson Arnold spread it around a lot more. Keep in mind, Drake Stoops' numbers last year were helped tremendously by Dylan Gabriel. He got a lot of targets. And nothing against Drake Stoops. I'm just saying he got the ball thrown to him a lot.
Did Gibson drop many balls?
One.
Last year?
One.
His catching issues were the year prior.
Yeah, I know, Bobby. They have a lot of talent at receiver, and that's another reason why Dylan Gabriel's probably going to have a good year, and they're probably going to be in the playoff, and he might be in New York.
Hey, Burks is ripped. Guns out on that dude. I promise you.
Yeah, agreed.
I agree with Tyler. I've said all along I think 6 receivers should play next year. 6 receivers should play.
I'd be fine with that if they rotate him in like that.
And Jonathan, you're right. DG absolutely forced the ball a lot.
Wait. Kenneth. I don't even know. I guess you're saying that DG made all the right reads and Stoops was the only one open?
I'm not sure on that. Jay, who are your 6? Name the 6. Here's who I got. I'm going to name 5, and I guess the 6th is up in the air. Andrel Anthony, depending on his injury, but Andrel Anthony, Nick Anderson, Jaden Gibson, Dion Burks, and Brennan Thompson.
Petaway
could be 6. Zion, one of the Zion guys could be 6. There's other guys that can be 6. But there's 5 for sure that should play. And Jason, that's what I'm saying. Brennan Thompson has to be on the field a lot. Petaway would be the other guy. I like Bobby Wiley 6.
Bobby,
that's pretty much what I just said. Kenneth is saying Stoops is the only one getting open. I will say Farouk, this is another reason I went high on him. No separation. But Stoops didn't get separation much either.
Jeremy, if you go back and watch Lebby's offense, I mean, Stoops was an elite route runner. I get it. But a lot of times, go watch the routes that Farouk and some of them guys were running. It was either a go route or a slant. There wasn't much to it. I mean, A lot of
Yeah,
slants.
I agree. There was a trust.
And
Obviously, there was
Oakland,
a
that's
trust.
true. I mean, he did have a very good trust with him, and he was very reliable on catching the ball. That's a good point.
And I'm going to say this, and people are going to take it the wrong way, but there's another reason Stoops caught most of the balls. Dylan Gabriel didn't look past 20 yards. Arm couldn't get it. Arm couldn't get it there.
I listen. Drake Stoops
Arm
to me
couldn't get it there. Couldn't get
Drake
it there.
Stoops to me was Dylan Gabriel's tight end in a sense that, hey, I always have him to throw. No matter what, Drake will be open. I can hit him. He'll catch it. I think he was almost like, this is kind of like his tight end, you know, like NFL wise. Like, got this safety blanket, know where he's going to be at all time, really know him very well for 2 years. I think that's what it was.
Hey, the other thing I'll say this too. The other thing is, I don't think Dylan Gabriel's strength, in my opinion, was progressions.
Also,
rarely made it to the tight end because never progressed past maybe one or two, and he tried to fit it in there, and that's fine. He had a phenomenal year. I'm just saying there are some limits.
And here's another thing. And that's an outstanding point, Bobby. Love that comment. Here's another thing.
Exactly right.
There's a term called throwing people open.
Here we go.
DG was not a guy that would throw you open. Jackson Arnold can throw you open. And I mean, we can go a whole nother segment on throwing a receiver open, but DG did not have that capability. DG was a hit a guy when he's open, but not throwing him open. I hope that makes sense. Some of you probably won't understand it, but I really believe that that's what Jackson Arnold has, a kind of a characteristic and an ability that he has. Whereas if a guy's even with the guy, he can throw it 10 yards over here, knowing that his receiver is going to he's going to throw him to an open spot. I mean, I don't know if that makes sense or not, but.
Yeah, and I'm going to answer Sooner fan here, barring injury. You think
He'll be back. He's not leaving next year.
After 2025.
Oh, after.
If he has 2 great years, yeah.
Probably not.
Probably not. Hey, I'm going to go back to the bowl game because OU came out of the halftime locker room, Jay, with Brennan Thompson, Petaway, and I cannot remember the third receiver. It was Freeman. Petaway, and Brennan. It was Freeman, Petaway, and Brennan Thompson for 2 straight plays. You remember those plays? There was a quick pass to Freeman, and they lined up immediately and went deep to Brennan Thompson. Okay, I think this team, and maybe I liked what Seth Luttrell did there. He kind of had 2 plays in his mind. The second was going to be a deep ball to Brennan Thompson. I think they can package some guys together on the receiving core and do some things like that. I very much do. And it worked. And it worked really well because they scored a TD on it. Okay, I highly disagree with that. Jackson Arnold is not going to be overtaken by Hawkins or Sperry in my mind. Not going to happen. And Hawkins, while he may be really great, he wasn't a 5-star. Jackson Arnold was a 5-star. Now, if you're saying he's not going to pan out, I guess we have to wait and see. But I think he does pan out. I don't think Hawkins is going to be ready to go next year. And then I don't think you're going to move from Jackson Arnold after a year in the SEC.
Hey, one thing, though, and, man, Big Orange, real quick. Kentucky, John Calipari, might be time to hang it up. I know he says he'll retire there and they can't make him leave, but it might be that time. Hey, one thing we haven't talked about, and maybe we should, is let's not forget, okay, and in my opinion, I did not like the way the wide receivers were used under Jeff Lebby's offense. I didn't. And what I mean by that is, I don't know if y'all can still hear me or not.
Yes, I can. Can you hear me, Jay?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, it was buffering or something. What I was going to say is, in Lebby's offense, I don't think he had guys running the routes that were fit for their talent. Okay, Jalil Farouk running a go route, I don't think that's his talent. I don't think the slant routes they ran all the time. Anderson's a good guy to run the slant route. Yes, he's a big physical guy. But even when Gibson came out there, I mean, to me, there was not a whole lot of route concepts, if that makes sense. It was pretty much Jeremy, don't. Here we go. I know you're going to get fired up because of Levy. You love the guy. But
what I was going to say is that there was a whole lot of guys wide open last year.
But, okay, I'm not saying wide open. I'm saying the route concepts were not very complex, I don't think.
Don't have to be, Jay. In my opinion, I don't think DG did a good enough job scanning the field. I think there are guys open. People who went to the game would say there are guys wide open. And I know the question was asked about OU's basketball, how many wins they need, Jay. They got to get to 20.
They got 2 more wins. You got to get to 8-2 in the conference and 20
8
wins.
and 10 in the conference.
8-10. Here's what you got to do. You really need to beat OSU and beat Cincinnati at home. That gets you in.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you beat Kelvin Sampson in Houston there in Norman. That really helps. But I think, too.
Ivan Carrion. Ivan Carrion is not being talked about enough.
Agreed.
Look, he's kind of a guy that could maybe get to tight end weight. Got the height. Slot, Gary says a slot. I look for him more as an outside guy with his height to go up and get it. Oh, Lord, what? Oh, Lord, what, 405 boy?
Probably talking about Levy comment, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, probably true on that one.
Yeah.
2024 receiving class is elite, just like most of the position groups in this team.
I mean, you look at OU, I think Andrew Anthony going out of the game, getting hurt last year, also made Dylan Gabriel look towards Stoops more, too, because Andrew Anthony was the leading receiver before he got hurt, and he was DG's guy. I mean, so.
Hey, Jay, semi-hot take, Oregon stays in the Pac-12.
No, Pac-12's done. It's
done. The Pac-12's
it's not coming back.
Over. It's done.
Look at Big Orange's take. Now, this isn't far-fetched. Oklahoma finishes at number 13, 9-3. Vols will finish at number 8, 10-2. That could happen.
Yeah.
Very well could.
Very well could. 405 boy never said what he was said, oh Lord, to.
Hey, Freeman could get that slot role as he says here. I mean,
wow. Come on, guys.
What?
Then Deion Burks is done. Come on, guys.
I really like Deion Burks.
Deion Burks is the slot guy.
I really like him. I'd like to see him be the slot guy. I just don't know if it's going to happen.
If Gavin Sawchuk doesn't have 1,000 yards, either the line sucks or Gavin Sawchuk got passed by someone else on the depth chart. Period. It's only 2 explanations. Is that Cousin Shane?
Well, that's Cousin Shane on Twitter's Big Orange Ball. I don't know if it is on this YouTube, but
that'd be cool
if it was. I love Cousin Shane.
Seemed pretty mild to be Cousin Shane. I love Cousin Shane.
Bobby says Freeman will be in rotation more than fans want to believe, but he is obviously not starting. I agree with you, Bobby. I do.
Jay, I agree. He can get better.
Purple Org says, I think 10-2 is slightly hot. I don't look at Tennessee's schedule, Purple. Other than OU, go find me 2 more losses.
Yeah, it's a pretty simple schedule, but Jay, let me ask you this, and I want your honest, because I actually think that I actually don't have a problem. I'm going to say this. I have less of a problem with Freeman playing some receiver than I do him returning punts.
I agree with that.
As a receiver, he ran backwards a couple times. He hasn't really had drop issues, hasn't really fumbled at receiver. His main issue has been punt return. I don't mind Gavin Freeman coming in 2 to 5 plays a game and getting some run.
He'll get in more than that.
He'll get in more than giving Burks a breather, but I don't want him at punt return. That's my issue.
Well, I think he'll be in there more than that. Lebby had the job offer at the Texas game and after the father-in-law debacle. Yeah, we could go into that.
I would lean more to the father-in-law debacle.
Yeah, see, Purple, they're going to have 2 losses. I don't think they're getting to 3. I think they're probably just going to have 2.
Yeah.
But
I like Zion Reagan's on punt return, yes. But I think everyone would agree, Jay, that it's the punt returning that was the issue, not really the receiver.
Well, he didn't play enough at the receiver to really tell.
And when he was in, he didn't do anything horrible.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything outstanding.
Yeah.
He did some bad things at punt return.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Bucs should resign Baker.
Let's end with this. If they don't sign Baker, they got issues. That's ridiculous. Okay. He needs to be re-signed. If they don't, somebody's going to go get a steal. I would love for him to re-sign him, although they lost their OC. So I don't know if that would affect him at all. But
couple things. One, 40 time for Tom. Brennan Thompson is as fast as Tyreek Hill. Brennan Thompson's got to be on the field 10 to 20 times a game, period. Yeah. Deion Burks is fast, but he is not Brennan Thompson fast. Yeah. I do want to give an update on our dad. Unfortunately, back in the hospital. Transported today back to the hospital. I appreciate a lot of you guys that ask every night about our dad down through the comments. Going to have surgery in the morning at 7 o'clock for an issue up here in his head. They're going to have to do a skin graft for a bone infection. So, yeah, it's been a roller coaster. Appreciate your guys' prayers. You guys ask us all the time. It's like having family here as viewers. I'm excited about this year, Jay. Maybe getting to meet some of the viewers on some location venues where we can meet up. But, yeah, it's been a good night again.
Yeah, Surgeon Maniacs always come through, always. So appreciate you guys so much for being on here nightly with us every single night. Y'all come through every night with good comments, good conversations, and even the banter. I love the banter. Bring the banter. It's fun. Appreciate all you guys joining us tonight. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow, 9:30. One more time, Fan Stop. Go to the Fan Stop. Order your shirt. 10% off. First 3 months, all you got to do is put code SURGE in there. You get 10% off. So please do that. We also got Surgeaholics, as Gary says. Surgeaholics, Surgeon Maniacs, whatever it is. You're the best. We appreciate you guys. Till next time. Boomer.
Boomer.